Be curious, not judgmental. Welcome. I have chicken noodle soup. Please feel free to get yourself a cuppa and sit down. I am in the middle stages of editing an extended body scan, and I can't wait to hear what you think. As I sit here, I'm looking out and there is a magpie playing on the grass. This particular magpie does some pretty weird tricks. It keeps lying on its back and Adrian says to me, "Is it dead? Is it dead?" And I say no. It just likes to lie on its back. And it's interesting. I wanted to hang out with you today. Today I've had a pretty full-on day. I've gone to gym. I've gone 5 days without alcohol, which is a new goal I have. I've been training pretty heavily, which I really enjoy doing in the gym. And I've been working at Adelaide Delivery Services with the team, which is always interesting, funny, distracting. And I wanted to come home, even before brushing my hair and my top is really dirty, and I wanted to chat to you. I wanted to hang out with you and see how you are. This video is in the flavour of ASMR, and those of you who have known me for a long time know that I started in ASMR. I love ASMR because ASMR is about empathy. The tingles that ASMR can elicit is all about you feeling listened to and you feeling empathy. And don't you just love that? That feeling that we can connect through this thing here and care about each other. Today I saw a little clip done by Ted Lasso. I don't know the movie or the series. And it said, "Be curious, not judgmental." And it was about a competition and Ted Lasso was in the competition. It was a dart competition. And everybody, it appeared, had judged him and judged that he couldn't throw darts. And he was a proficient dart player. And he wins whatever goal is set at that time pretty incredibly. And I love it because I love it when somebody thrives through judgment. I think it's really tough to thrive through judgment because we inherently want to be liked. We want to be a member of the gang. We want to belong. We want to be seen. But it's a kind of myth because if we want to be seen, if you want to be seen, who is doing the seeing? The person who's doing the seeing can only see you through the lens of their experience. Yet we want to be magpies. We want to be seen through the lens of our experience. Do you love my pink glasses? I broke them, or rather Adrian broke them accidentally, and it was my fault he broke them. So I leant forward and they fell off underneath the pot he was putting down. Isn't it interesting that we want to belong, and by definition it's impossible? Because if we truly belong, we will truly be understood. And in order to be truly understood, the other person has to have the exact same lens. But our lens is forged through the character of our stories and our experience. And none of us truly understand the experience of another person. Some of the greatest pains in life are born from being misunderstood. so somebody doesn't see you as you are. But the thing is, they can't. They can't see you. We may fall in love with people. We do love our children. We may grow to love others, yet we have little to no power over their lens. As a parent, we can do everything we can to create and nurture a space where our children can thrive. But our children still have choice, and they may not listen to us. We may put all our energies into loving a significant other, but their story, their experience means that they do not truly see us and they do not truly listen to our narrative or the manner in which we wish to help them. Excuse me, I'll just take a sip. It's funny, this content is either, oh, there's birds outside. This content is either on video or on audio. And on audio, because you're listening and you're really focusing, the sipping sounds really loud and kind of disgusting. So please excuse me if you're listening on my podcast. I am sipping chicken soup, so be it. My father said, I know if you've listened to me, you've heard this story, and I can't stop repeating it. So I love my dad, who has passed now. My father said, when we look up on the stage of life and we see leaders, instead of saying, why are they there, not me? Instead, we could say, how can I get upon that stage and be a leader? How, rather than, it's not fair. And I always think about that. And I think about Ted Lasso's quote, which isn't his quote, it's Walt Whitman's quote. Be curious, not judgmental. When we are curious, we ask why, how, when. When we're judgmental, we decide this is what this person feels. This is what this person's thinking. This is not fair. And we lose the beautiful space in which we can say, how do I do that? How do I learn that? How do I get over this? How do I grow through this? When? I just love that. I've got to sit in that space for a moment. I just love that. Be curious, not judgmental. On the topic of being judgmental, we do need to be judgmental because it's our ability to judge which allows us to survive. So we learn that if we can't swim, we'll drown in water, or we learn that if we're walking along a dark lane, we reduce our chance of safety. We learn all these narratives, and a lot of them are useful. But we can use the ability to unpack, to think, is this a learning? Is this a useful judgment? Or is this ignorance? Is this inclusive? Or is this exclusive? We learn particular narratives or beliefs generally from those around us. So we learn to barrack for this football team or go for that political party. But wouldn't it be interesting to ask yourself, but what if? What if I went for another football team? Or what if I did this? Or what if I did that? Or what if I decided to learn how to kayak? Or jump over a plane? Or what if I changed my friendship group? Or what if I learned German? What if? You know, it's the what if, the what ifs of the world that starts new ideas from which leaders are born, from which ignorance stops. Ignorance starts with judgment, ignorance stops with curiosity. It's amazing, isn't it? I know when I started creating content, there was a particular group of people who decided to feel personally affected by what I was doing and put a massive effort into criticizing me. And the various stories are very interesting. What they achieved was to motivate me, and they participated in campaigns where they would dislike videos or put comments. And what the dislikes do on YouTube is encourage more people to interact and engage with the content. What negative comments do is encourage others to come in and bat for whoever the person is, to bat for me. So what these people achieved was my viral fame. Isn't that interesting? To be in the space where people criticize you is really difficult. But if you can sit in that space and own that space, you can be the caterpillar that forms the chrysalis from which the butterfly is born. If you've been estranged from children, if your partner has left you in an unfair way, if someone has judged you inappropriately in the workplace or anywhere, this is your space to be a caterpillar, form your chrysalis and become the butterfly. Let's be curious, not judgmental. Let's ask, why? What if? When? How? Gee, this soup tastes so good. I might stop now because the slurping is going to be quite strong if you're just listening to audio. What do you think? Do you think it serves a purpose to be judgmental? Because it does, it keeps us alive. But the line, at a certain point, it stops keeping us alive and it dampens our spirit and it encourages an exclusive community rather than an inclusive community. Judgment breeds ignorance, breeds isolation, breeds a hole into which our society can fall, a cavern. Let's be curious and allow curiosity, a healthy curiosity, to be the match from which the light of our soul grows. What do you think? Thanks for having a cuppa with me today. My video, my content, my podcast on the body scan, the extended one, I hope will be up today. Love you all.